everyone, welcome to the Warhammer Meta Chasers. This is your weekly live tournament rundown show for the biggest and best Warhammer 40,000s events happening all over the world. My name is Paul, hanging out with Dustin Henshaw. Dustin, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How you doing? How you doing, Jack?
Hey, we can't handle the truth.
He's
Just
glaring at
lie
you,
to us.
man.
Yeah. So Adam is on his way over to the States if he isn't here yet. As you may know, we're going to be doing some talking about Warhammer here in a couple weeks. World Championships of Warhammer coming up.
Nice.
Some of these events we've been talking about are ways to get your golden ticket, get a ticket into the ability to compete in the World Championships of Warhammer for your country and in your given game system. That's what they look like.
That's what I
That is
like.
exactly it. And some we're going to be, it's all be coming to it ahead here in just a couple of weeks. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens and seeing all the great competitors that are coming in. But hey, chat, how are y'all doing? Want to say hello to everyone that's watching us live and also hello to everyone that's watching us on there or listening to us on the aggregators or on YouTube later. Do not forget to hit the subscribe button. That's how you're going to be informed the next time we do this. If you didn't know we do it live, no, you can come here and hang out with chat, have an amazing chat community. I got three-ish, four-ish.
Four-ish, like two
Yeah,
times two.
we are combining a couple of events to talk about because of the way these events are structured, and we'll explain that all in just a minute. But Dustin, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm really looking forward to the World Championships, actually, because this is the first time it is actually going to mark the end of the ITC season, and it is actually a close race for the top. And obviously, one of my close friends and Canadian, Scary, is right up there, and he's going for it. And he could actually take it if he does well at this. It's gonna be really exciting to watch. I'm really looking forward to it.
It really, well, that's going to be on the minds of everybody. Now, look,
Mhm.
these top competitors, we don't talk about this enough, at least maybe not on this show. But they take it one game at a time,
Yeah.
and there will be no easy games. The thing about the World Championships, and I don't, we'll talk about that more to come on this or
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
But every single one of those games could be a grand tournament finale
Yeah.
game, and so there will be no easy games. Game at a
Nobody runs.
time. Erwin, Peyton, Mulligan, Rock. Can't wait to see how that's going. KR, good to see
Nice.
you in chat. The events we're going to be talking about here are the Coventry 2 and 3 day events. We're combining those. Coventry it's in the UK. It's about 40 miles outside of London.
Nailed it. I'm not. Don't even need to
Yeah.
look it up. We know you're no. We know you're accurate. Within
we've
7
talked
miles.
about yeah, we've talked about these events before, and it's really nice to see these events coming in, year after year. But we're going to be talking about that, and then 250-ish player team events are going to combine those, looking at some faction stats and what people are taking out there in this anything can happen meta.
Yeah. It's actually crazy with the kind of things you can bring. You can bring anything in this meta right now and do well. It's all about the generalship now. It's all about the generalship. Obviously, list design has something to do with it, but faction a lot less so. As
Have
long
the
as you have good
tools,
list
maybe
design.
you zig while everyone else is zagging and all that kind of stuff. I mean, there's still a little bit about that, and then of course the matchups and the pair
Mhm.
the rounds. But you're right, highlighting the skills of the generals, the pilots that are being able to express themselves on the
Yeah.
tabletop. It's rarely been a time as good as this for so many factions
Oh
out
yeah.
there.
No, it is actually the best time in the meta right now, and it is exciting to see all of this culminating into the World Championships in a few weeks to see what the best of the best is going to be bringing. Because, like you said, every single matchup there is like a World Championship final. So those lists and those plays that we're going to be seeing there, which is going to be streamed, obviously, awesome. Going to be look. I always love watching that. It's going to be great.
Yeah, so coming in here is kind of the Coventry GT, the Coventry UK. There are two events here. One of them is the happening with 194 players. The other one is 107 players, got
Mhm.
8 and 5 rounds respectively. It's a total of 301 folks battling it out. What are these factions we're going to see there?
So the two events combined is going to look like an Imperial Faction. There are 3 Imperial agents. Ooh, that's a lot. 10 Sisters of Battle, 9 Custodes, 3 Admech, 13 Astra Militarum, 7 Grey Knights, and 11 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, there's 26 Adeptus Astartes, 13 Dark Angels, 11 Space Wolves, 11 Blood Angels, 8 Black Templar, and 2 Death Watch. Chaos, there's 14 Chaos Space Marines, 6 T-Suns, 16 Death Guard, 14 World Eaters, 9 Emperor's Children, 11 Demons, and 8 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 14 Necrons, 13 Orcs, 15 Tau, 9 Votan, Hive Mind, there's 16 Tyranids and 3 Gene Stealer Cult. Eldari, there's 12 Drukhari and 13 Eldari. Meaning the faction podium is Adeptus Astartes, topping it off with the vanilla at 26. Well, vanilla, but I'd say mostly Raven Guard. Let's be real.
We're going to see that on the rise. That number is always high,
Oh, yeah.
but I think now we'll see even more.
Yeah, it'll be a lot more skewed towards that right now, at least for the next little while. And then the Cliff of the Emperor to the Death Guard and Tyranids in the second spot for faction podium with 16. Then Tau right behind them in third with 15. Then World Eaters, Necron, CSM behind them with 14. Eldari, Orcs, Dark Angels, and Astra Militarum right behind them with 13. That is a crazy podium.
What do you think about the Tyranids, though, being at 16? Is it because they have a lot of Marine answers?
It's because they have such a good game with Invasion. I'm assuming most of them are going to be with Invasion Fleet because that's just the all-rounder list that has a game into everything and on GW boards, which Coventry, I'm assuming. No, sorry, UKTC. The UKTC boards, they actually have a good play into them. The builds that they have are durable. They have really good Marine killing power. Like, Tyranids are not known for their kill power, but they have profiles that are actually good at killing Marines.
Like, I mean, a lot of 2 and 3 damage and lots of
a lot of
attacks
2 and 3 damage,
like
exactly. Their only decent shooting is like elite 3 damage guns, so -3, like high AP, right? So it's really good at killing Marines efficiently and safely a lot of the time.
So is this maybe an instance of because the Knights and Death Guard, are fewer in number? I say 16 there, but we were seeing higher
Yeah,
than double that, and in a lot of events a few weeks ago.
yeah, absolutely.
So they've been pressed down a
Mhm.
bit because of evened out
Yes.
of the things. Do you
Even
think
though
that is
exactly.
allowing the rise of high fleets?
Absolutely. The Tyranids did have a really rough game into Knights, especially, and Death Guard as
They
well.
had one answer.
They
Like,
had
did you
one
take enough
answer.
Hive Guard or not?
Did you take a Hive Guard? Did you take a Tyrannifex? Did you roll the hit and wound? Because you don't really have many rerolls, so good luck. It's a very inconsistent answer, and a lot of people wouldn't take it because it's so inconsistent. And it's only good in those specific matchups. Everything else is I'm a big body. I hope you don't move me. So with those kind of downtrodden, it is going to be not a heyday for Tyranids, but they're definitely on the rise. They have a lot more games now. They're a lot more comfortable into this meta for sure.
One of the things we like to do is highlight one of the top players in attendance, and we've got a list here by Kyle Grundy, who is number 12th at ITC in the world and playing Tau Empire. And I was like one of the Tau innovators out there, not
Oh
as
yeah.
this entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and will obviously, I think, be competing. I think just saw him in Vegas. Probably going to be competing in the World Championships.
Oh yeah.
Here looking to also maybe jump that standing a little bit. Is
Yep.
12th in the world here in Coventry. Running with 2 Enforcer Commanders, 2x3 Fire Knife Suits, 2 Hammerheads, 10 Kroot, 3x10 Pathfinders, 2 Piranhas, 3 Riptides, and 2x3 Stealth Suits. Riptides,
We are
Triptide, been a mainstay in a lot of Tau lists.
Yeah, we're seeing they haven't been a mainstay for a little while. They kind of came back with the recent change, the Ion Accelerator. I think that's what it's called, the Ion Accelerator, because it went from strength 9 to strength 10, and that is, I think, like, it's arguably the best break point in the game from 9 to 10 going strength wise.
Breakpoint by meaning, it's strength compared to the average
Yes,
toughness
the average
the
toughness
profile you want to be shooting
exactly,
into.
because going from 9 to 10 means all these strength 9 knights or toughness 9 knights, you're now wounding on 3s instead of 4s. All of these T5 Marines or Death Guard bodies, or you're now wounding on 2s, and all these T10 vehicles, you're now wounding on 4s instead of 5s. It is, in this meta, I think, the best breakpoint in the game. So that change, and Kyle obviously agrees. So because when the number 12 Tau player in the world, or number 12 ITC player, one of the best Tau players in the world, is doing it, obviously there's something
Look,
to it, right?
no doubt, we talk about the list as your tools about how do you get the job done here, and consistently as he's doing. This is a list to watch.
Absolutely.
A lot of tools there. Again, look at some of the other factions though. World Eaters, high representation of World Eaters.
Yep.
Eldari actually a little bit lower than I would have expected.
Drukhari almost overtook them. Like, they were one behind them. I'm
You think that's the Codex bump?
probably, because there was already a lot of Eldar players, and if they have Drukhari, which most of them will have at least some Drukhari when Yunari was a thing, so they're going to have some of them. And the Drukhari book is very good, but it is a specialist's codex. Like, you need to really know what you're doing with Drukhari. So, like, bringing it
I
here
like
for
that
8 or
though.
5 rounds is a great way to get your feet wet, right?
I mean, we talk about, glass cannon list, and
Mhm.
Jakari have been doing that, when you can get your work done with what we used to also affectionately call paper planes,
Yeah.
you know, to be able to do that, and I think it reflected into the style of the codex. It's actually kind of nice to hear, and we know there's a lot of great, talented Drukari players out there.
Yes, absolutely. And now the Drukhari players are starting to separate from the Eldari players a little bit more because of the codex, right? Then, as the months go on, those that don't really jive with it'll go back. But now's a good time to really get your feel for it, especially if you're practicing for world championships, because you want to get your games in now, because there's gonna be a lot of them that have been getting their games in worlds.
I think this is going to be an interesting weekend to watch, because of the things we had. These marine detachments, we've got,
Mhm.
new codexes. Basically, everybody's got the tools and some time to have kind of gotten them under their
Yes.
feet now. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what does rise to the top, and and then also it could be anybody's game out there. And right now we're about to predict some winners
Yeah, we definitely
of
are.
this event. This is a point in the show to where we talk about the stats. I don't. Do we have to pick two? Do we pick? I think we pick two apiece.
Do we pick two apiece, or we just pick one?
We got to pick
We,
two
we,
apiece.
we can, okay, we can pick two apiece. All right, let's do
Look,
that.
we'll pick two apiece, and we'll let the accountants figure it out later.
Yeah, that sounds good. I like that. Leave it to the accountants.
You got to come see in the post game show uh, how we handle this accounting nightmare.
Yeah. All right. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
Do you here? Few
I got a
times
die.
I don't have a die near me.
I got one. Don't you worry. Okay. You want 1 to 3, 4 to 6?
I'll take 4 to 6. I can't be
Of
taking no
course you
one
will.
to three.
1 to 3. Who does that? It's a 5. So that's you.
Look, I really have to go with the weighted numbers here with the Adeptus Astartes. I think that there's a lot of tools that people are going to be
Yeah.
looking to show off.
Yeah.
Um,
That is a good pick. I. Oof. Yeah, those are stories. Is a pretty
Also,
good
I'm
pick.
strategically blocking Adam, so now he has to pick Dark Angel.
Yeah. Yeah, now he has to go Dark Angels. That's just he has Dark Angels and Imperial Knights because that's what he said he's going to be doing,
Yeah, chat,
right?
don't tell him. Yeah, he is going Imperial Knight. Back in
Yeah,
Knights this whole time.
yeah, for sure. For you know what? I'll go Tal. Let's go Kyle.
Yeah, look, safe bet. Then it was the Imperial or Chaos Knights from Mr. Camilleri.
I think he's been doing Imperial, or do we just give him
Okay,
both? We're picking two.
okay. Yeah, I guess the least you can do, right?
Right?
Uh, and then look, I'll go with Eldari. I do think they're
Yeah,
underrepresented, and I think they have a lot of tools,
yeah,
especially into everything we see in those top faction podiums.
yeah, absolutely. And then you know what? I got to do it because there's so much representation in there. I'm going Tyranids. Come on,
Okay,
got to do it. When they come out in numbers, I have to support them. This
nope,
is a rule.
solid picks.
This is a rule. Oh, speaking of which, we do have the detachment breakdown for the
Yeah,
Tyranids
let's
if you
talk
have it.
about it.
So, just for Dusty, of course. Thanks, Adam. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. So there we go.
Always thinking about it.
There,
We
yeah.
do
See, and I
appreciate it.
mentioned it before. 8 invasion fleet. Right off the bat, that's more than half of them. And then 5 subterranean assault. Not too surprising there because that's the new juice that with our only mass rerolls. 1 Vanguard Onslaught Classic and a Crusher Stampede. So still no assimilation showing up, which isn't too surprising. Not many people have been loving that one. And no, I don't think I've ever seen the Warrior detachment see the light of day.
I like the Crusher Stampede. Seems to always make it on the list.
It does at least one because it's a play style and it's actually good. It does have a lot of play. When, to be honest, with Knights kind of falling out of it too, it becomes a little bit better because a lot of these armies do struggle into bigger. You know what it's good against actually. You know what Crusher's good into? It's Raven Guard.
Okay.
It is actually really good in the Raven Guard. Raven Guard struggled to get them.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, look, we'll see how it plays out. Maybe look with the things swirling as it is, how people will adapt, um, like adaptive mutation
Yeah, that's what they do. They adapt. The
with
whole Hive fleet adapts to them.
their list. Uh, Next events we're going to be talking about is these are the team events that we're combining here. This is the
Yeah.
Italian National Team Championship and the Alpine Cup Winter Teams. Sale, Monferrato, and Schallenberg, Italy, and Germany, respectively. It was an interesting way of writing that out, but
That was that was an Australian way of writing that out, Adam. I don't know how. I'm really glad that Paul took that because I looked at it. I don't know what this is saying. I don't know what he's
I
trying
had
to
throw in there respectively so people can know that I know that those are two different places. Yes.
It's good that you put that in perspective because people need to know that. We understand these are two different places, but right now they are the same event. Okay.
Look, there's a lot to have, a lot of travel. Look, by the way, I very much thank everyone for their patience with us with all the travel and everything that we've had over the last couple of weeks, almost slash months. It means a whole lot for you to come and being patient with us and then coming and hanging out with us
Yeah, and keep
after the
supporting us,
fact.
guys. We really appreciate it. We love you guys. That's why we keep doing this, right? Because we love doing it too. So the support is
Uh,
always appreciated.
Talking about Warhammer and Warhammer related things.
Yes.
So 80 players and then 145 players in teams of 30 and then 29, 6 and 5 respectively. Both these events are 5 rounds,
He's
and we've
reading the
combined the fact
teleprompter.
we've combined these stats together here. And think about it though. Still had to go and source both of these stats from these events.
It's true.
But I do think there's a lot of information to be told about the concentration of these. And
Yes.
remember, in team events, you can't pick the same faction more than once per team. And so anything that's kind of above that halfway point, we think that that is a telltale sign that that region or the teams think that that's their strongest shot at
Yep.
an overall victory. So what are we going to see there?
Yeah. So let's see what the Central Europe,
Anything above
Italy and
that
Germany, like
that
Central Europe.
13, yeah, anything above that 13, 15 range, we're going to consider a very strong faction for these picks.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So let's see what they're feeling over there. In the Imperial Super Faction, there are 12 Sisters of Battle. I like them seeing them get their numbers back up. 9 Custodes, 10 Admech, 16 Astra Militarum, 7 Grey Knights, and 14 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, there's 5 Adeptus Astartes, 2 Dark Angels, 4 Space Wolves, 6 Blood Angels. Here it is, 14 Black Templar,
Wow.
2 Death Watch. Chaos, there's 12 Chaos Space Marines, 6 T-Suns, 20 Death Guard, 27 World Eaters, 19 Emperor's Children. It is chaos land over in Italy and Germany right now. 13 Demons and 18 Chaos Knights. Wow. That chaos representation is crazy. Xenos,
The aggressive list. Those are very aggressive.
Very
lists.
aggressive. Yeah.
I like that.
Xenos, there's 19 Necrons, still a pretty popular choice over there. 7 Orcs, 14 Towns, 6 Votan. I did not think Votan was going to be that low. Like, this is Germany included in here. What's going on with that? They're all playing World Eaters now and Emperor's Children. Hive Mind, there's 14 Tyranids and 4 Gs are called. The Hive Mind's out in force too. This is awesome. Eldari, there's 8 Drukhari and then 25 Eldari. So the Drukhari switch has not really happened over here yet. But the Eldari is still going strong. With the faction podium meeting at his total Astartes.
With teams events, there are sometimes a bit of a lag. Like the list cutoff.
That's true. Yeah, that
is
true.
typically earlier than like the weekend before or whatever for team
That's
events.
true. It might be either like not using the new codex or so close to the event that people aren't comfortable enough bringing it because of the reps that had. Because these are like cutthroat events like that. There's good players here. So meeting the faction podium is total Astartes topping it off with 33. Again, probably mostly Raven Guard, but who knows? But World Eaters, 27. Wow. Eldari behind that. Whoop.
Let's talk. I mean, well, no, go through the list and
Sure.
we'll unpack the World Eaters.
Eldari at 25, Death Guard right behind them with 20, and then Necrons and Emperor's Children behind that with 19. Now we could talk about the podium. So,
yeah, with World. So let's talk. Which you might see a list that has the hallmarks of what we might consider a typical World Eater list in large attendance.
Right. So let's see. There's going to be 8-bound. They're going to use the 8-bound, or they're going to use the Berserker Rush, the Berserker Blobs. I think that's
Yeah.
actually a really popular choice right now.
So I mean, that means that they have, of course, they know what the terrain layout's going to be.
Yep.
Of course, you're making a bit of an anticipation about what the meta is,
Yep.
and there'll be this when you have that much assault aggression that you can potentially create some lopsided matchups. And in a
Yep.
team event, you're doing your best to try to create lopsided matchups. And I wonder if folks are anticipating that people will not be able to block just the sheer amount of bodies.
Well, it depends on what they're going with it. If they're doing World Eaters with the Berserker swarms, like the 4x20, I think is the average. The list will bring 4x20 bricks of Berserkers on WTC boards, which in Italy and Germany, I'm assuming again, or what the other boards are using. That's scary because they're not going to get good angles. There's a lot of places for them to hide. There's staging positions all over the maps. Like they are actually really good at getting in your face and doing it safely. So then with the amount of Death Guard and Emperor's Children here too, that's telling me that they're kind of pairing together with that too, because the Emperor's Children list can be as aggressive as well. They can be built that way easily. So we have two really aggressive, and then Raven Guard, because it's all the Astartes there. This is actually a really aggressive team meta then. Really good builds for this that you will have a lot of trouble having that many lists to defend against that, unless they do the mirror. People are going to go into this and they're going to be ready for Raven Guard. They're going to be ready for it because that's so popular right now. They're going to have at least some answers to like World Eaters and Emperor's Children, but there's not going to be a flux of them. The meta has kind of settled in a spot that people are not really ready for that kind of aggression because it's not huge in the meta aside from Raven Guard and singles, right? So in teams, when you skew that hard, you have to kind of be ready for it, the other team. And I don't think a lot of them are going to be ready.
Maybe the case. And talk about a couple of factions that just missed the podium: Black Templars and Astra Militarum.
Yeah,
those are things I think World Eaters play decently well into.
yeah, for sure. Because Black Templars might have a game into them. Astra Militarum do not like fighting them. Like they can, but they don't like it because they do not deal with aggression well. They don't deal with getting tagged everywhere well.
Like I'm a loyalist at heart, so if I had to bet at the Black Templar versus the World Eaters matchup, I'm going to go with the Black Templar. But I really think that I think the World Eaters, in the way we've seen some of those lists, they may have some more tricks and maybe the weight of just all the attacks.
Yeah,
Kind of overwhelm.
It's a game for sure. It's a bloody game because they're going to get clashed in the middle pretty quickly. Most Black Templar lists are going to have a few close combat units and then some shooting transports, maybe repulsor or two, but their melee line, even if they hit first into Berserkers, they actually struggle to kill the bricks. So yeah, you might I want to say the Black Templars are one of those answers that can be built to beat them. It's just on average.
Well, okay. That's a great point. Can be built. I think some of the reason people are taking Black Templars is to get the multi-meltas.
Yeah, exactly.
And multi-melta just kills one Zerker.
Yeah, it kills a Zerker, which great, but there's 19 more in that squad, and now they're closer.
I think World Eaters are a solid pick here. I can kind of see why they're in there. Is this another? Are we picking two each of these as well?
Well, it's a big one. I mean, sure, we did it for the last one. We can't not do it for this one then.
We did. I know.
Let's go ham.
We're running through these. Might be a little bit of a short show for this one, but let's see. Well, you pick first this time.
Well, we still have a team to go through though.
Oh, we did. Oh my goodness. Oh,
yeah, we're not done yet.
Oh my, yeah. Actually, we have two teams.
We have two teams.
Oh, well, let's talk about it.
All right, let's talk about that. First one.
So here we go. Top players in attendance here is from Italy, which apparently translates "otherwise we get angry."
I love it. There's a bunch of Italian WTC players apparently. Yeah, so this is apparently according to the teleprompter, they're mostly WTC players. So this is going to be a good team. We have Orcs Warhorde, interesting. Necrons Awakened Dynasty, okay. Black Templar Gladius.
Solid choice.
Gladius is still in there. Drukhari, Reaper's Wager, Eldari, Aspect Host, and then World Eaters Berserker Warband. There's the Berserker Warband. So This is a really interesting 6-pack. Orcs, Necrons, Black Templar, Drukhari,
I,
and Eldari.
I love it. They're basically so the orcs and arguably another push list, like
Yep.
because it just doesn't die.
Yep.
Wave after wave potentially of things that do not die.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the Black Templar, orcs, world eaters, and then the Jukari, which can be played in layers and layers of aggression with that as well.
Yeah, they could be. That's actually pretty. That the Drukhari and Eldari can be, and probably are more all comers listed, like the champions of it, or even first defenders if they just want to take something away. The orcs and world eaters, they're looking to get into somebody that does not want to handle aggression for sure.
Well, it's like if someone puts out a list that's not good and you slap them both down. That's
Yep.
kind of what I like about this is that
Mhm.
this has it can double up on two of like some of the worst things to potentially deal with.
Yeah, and then Necron's Awakened Dynasty. That actually probably going to be their first defender a lot of the time because it just doesn't care. It'll fight anything and get good points into it. Because
It can stay. It can control theirs in the middle of the
yeah,
board, and maybe you never get
exactly.
past it.
This is like this is not a typical 6-pack, but it is a good one. It's
Oh,
very tactical. I like it a lot.
so I think the tactics also come in like in the pairings process.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're unfamiliar with a team's event, is that you, you place out a list for the other team to then match two lists against that you then get to choose one of them for that list to battle. And in this instance, there could be a two rounds of that pairing of bad matchups
Yeah,
for list out there. And I think that's part of what this is designed to do.
yeah, for sure.
To create those scenarios. But then, of course, with the Eldari and the Drukhari could be basically scalpels. Those are things that do a lot of taking from other units that are used to playing. You can't see me, but every time I see you, something gets
Yeah,
eliminated.
they actually another one that they pair together well into armies that don't deal with MSU because those are both going to be MSU hard lists. Like so, if you have a list goes down a defender that's not good at dealing with MSU, doesn't have the activations, doesn't have the guns or whatever, put down Drukhari Eldari. Like all right, good luck. Like it's a
All,
really good 6-pack for that. Like the pairings that this team comp can mess with is really strong.
and
It's
don't
unassuming. It's very strong.
speaking of unassuming, like you may look at the Eldari aspect host, you may see some Phoenix Lords, like, well, they're a lot of
Yeah,
points, but whatever they really enable those units to do amazing things, and some
yeah,
of them even come back to life. So some of
yeah,
them you never get to kill them because you never get to see them. They're in
yeah.
you know
Ugh,
wave serpents and that kind of stuff. So this does seem like a real stout list
I
or
like it.
a pack of players. Next team we're gonna be talking about is the Kings of the Hill from Germany. This is for this is basically a team of 5 from the Belgian WTC group as well. The reason we mentioned the WTC, that is traveling competition team, if you're
Mhm.
not familiar with that. So folks that are very, very well versed in the team environment. These are folks that routinely get together and practice the team environment, the matchups, how to play, when to play um, aggressively, when to play conservatively in the team, whatever team position that they get themselves put in. So that level of awareness is something to you have to overcome, and it's understated in these events sometimes
Yeah.
when you're playing in your team, because it's also a big fun element also of
Oh,
playing
for sure. When you're going with
in
your
a team
friends and playing
environment.
competitively and working together with your team comps and the pairings, it's teams is the best way to play 40K. I always say it, but it just is. It's amazing.
And kind of you rise and fall, live and die
Exactly.
with
And
your
even
team.
when you lose, when you're with your team, you still have a great time because you're there to pick each other up and go get a drink if you need to. That's just
But the reason we're highlighting some of the players in these teams, or at least calling out the fact that they are part of a traveling team, is that take it real seriously. Like
yep.
they play their country in one of the largest and most difficult competitions out
Yeah.
there.
So they are going to be bringing Chaos Demons with Demonic Incursion, Raven Guard, Shadowmark Talon, Emperor's Children, Coterie the Conceited, World Eaters. Oh my God, this is aggression. And then Eldari Aspect Host. We talked about aggression in the other team comp. This is just the only one that's not is Eldari. And technically,
Coteries the one where you like say I want to kill 2 units or whatever.
I
Is
believe
that's
that's the
the
one you
yeah.
pick the numbers you want to kill, yeah, and then you get
I
your
like that.
rerolls.
I like that aspect of it.
Yeah, it is. Oh man, like so, Coterie the Conceited is the one that has to be aggressive in order to get its army rule. So they're kind of telling you what they're going to do is like, hi, I'm picking 2 things that I'm going to kill this turn because I want rules. So here we go.
Look, Chaos Demons. If you've got a read on the meta, Chaos Demons, that index and everything in it is like basically you could just pick what you think is going to give you the best
Yeah,
shot into it, and there's something in there for everybody.
yeah. Demonic Incursion is still uh, one of the. It's funny how so many of the index attachments end up being the strongest, or at least the most well-rounded, if nothing else. When the codexes come out, we found that about a lot of them that have come out. And I think it's actually a testament to how well designed the game has been this edition. Let's be real, like it's impressive.
No
It's
arguments
impressive.
there.
But
I
this
just
this this 5 pack is terrifying. If you're not ready for aggression, just okay. Yeah,
with demons, I know I've talked about this on previous shows, but like you could go the wrong direction with demons, but when you do
yeah, you can.
because they're like there's different qualities you can choose from. It's like going to
They
the back
have different like
yeah,
gods to follow that give them different abilities, different qualities that you're looking for. And you're right, you can
yeah,
absolutely go the wrong direction. But I think you've also said it before that the demons, chaos demons, probably, or maybe it might have been Adam, have one of the most versatile games of any army
yeah,
because of all of these options that they have and what they can do.
yeah. So Raven Guard, obviously has been a solid choice
Hmm.
around, and then an aspect host that is. I think you could go either way with War Host or Aspect Host about what you take, but it seems like a lot of folks are leaning towards the Aspect Host, which is,
Yeah.
there's a lot of power in there, and depending on what position you want to play out of, I think it's incredibly solid choice. Then you're only talking about like how many of the cool things do you want?
Yeah.
Like, do you take 3 and 3 or 2 and 3 or one of the different units, and then how many Phoenix Lords
Yep.
do you take? Which I'm digging on that, and then another Berserker Warband, which you got to read on the terrain, you got to read on um, you know what you expect to see over the course of the weekend. Sometimes it's just fun to throw models across the table as well.
Yeah, I can confirm that. Sometimes it is absolutely just fun to throw models across the board. Because berserkers are not easy to kill per se, especially not when there's 80 of them. But
Kara on the chat says that the Raven Guard may or whatever. I think so. I think it's actually cool for things to disrupt a little bit to make people think like, do I
Mhm.
need to change what I'm doing if I'm going to be taking this? Like, and then, they may have a target on them right now, which is going to
Well,
inspire some generals
actually,
on.
that's a really good point. I think we should point that out too, because I think right now is that tipping point where Raven Guard are at that tipping point where people are now ready to deal with them, or at least know what to expect with Raven Guard, because the initial shock factor, the wow factor is kind of subsiding a little bit. People are like, okay, this is what they do, so this is how I deal with it now. Especially in events like this where you have like WTC players coming that need to know how to counter this stuff. Like they pay attention to this. They're coming in and they might even, as the Raven Guard player, like here, they might even be doing something a little bit different with Raven Guard, knowing that people are ready to counter that. So then they're going to switch it up a little bit. It's like it's this great game of cat and mouse in the meta
All
right now. So
Flamestorm aggressors.
hey, why not try it out, right? Wouldn't see that coming. They wouldn't even look at the list a lot of the time with Raven Guard. It's like, all right, I know what's in your list, and they go into the games like, why are there Flamestorm aggressors on here?
Oh my! You say? I mean, I know you're not kidding about that, but that's actually true. When there is a defined like template or archetype out there for list, oftentimes people will not look for the nuance or
Yep.
whatever the secret tech is in the list. And they'll just
Hmm.
assume that your list is built similar to the last one that they faced when it's such a dominant list.
Yep.
And the players, I mean, they don't bank on that or whatever,
No.
but sometimes players do build in some secret tech, especially at this level of play.
Yeah, for sure. And that secret tech can sometimes actually be massively game changing. So
Now, what's that relic
always read
do?
the list. Yeah, what's it do? It does what? Excuse me?
Yeah. All right, now we do got to pick some
Now
winners.
we got to pick some winners. I guess I go first this time now.
You do.
I'm going World Eaters.
I mean, that's a very solid choice. So in team events, we pick the list we think is going to get the highest amount of battle points. The highest amount of battle points over the course of the weekend is not necessarily always the team. the best. It's just sometimes it's even the team that is definitely not doing the best because they've got some,
Yep,
they're
often
playing
is.
towards in a field where maybe one of their players is an easier time getting a lot of points. Uh, that's like with what's out there though. I think I still got to back Aldari. I think that's just such a solid choice.
Oh, I will give Adam both the knights again, unless you want
Yeah,
another knight. Yeah.
sounds good. Yep,
I will take. I'll take Emperor's Children as my second one. I'll go with the pair.
that's a good choice. Um, I kind of want to pick something different. I will go with Adeptus Mechanicus.
Oh, that's different, all right. But that's
It
actually
is.
that's a good pick. Like if you get the right Adeptus Mechanicus player, like they will 20-0 people.
I think folks are sleeping on that right now.
They are for
And
sure.
it's going to take a bit. That's one of those things to where the like what you take in that army has been kind of shifting a bit.
Yeah.
Call and so like they're going to now build around. Well, I should say hopefully, but I suspect they will build around Call because he's got this cool Primarch level ability now.
Yeah, absolutely. Nope. I think that's a solid choice. All right.
So
And
it should
then
be good.
Adam gets Chaos Knights and Imperial Knights. All right, cool.
Yeah. So this is the part of the show where I want to remind you that please hit those buttons and leave some comments down below because that is a way the algorithms get tricked into having other people discover the show and come and hang out with us in chat and also in the comments section, and we really appreciate that. Appreciate y'all's engagement on that. It means a whole lot. If you're listening to us on the aggregators, please leave us a 5-star reviews. That is another way on those various platforms to do that, and we appreciate that. I also want to issue a warning. Uh, we're about to talk about stuff that is not 40K.
It scared me. What's he about to say? My
No, everything I said is fine.
this?
Just do all the stuff that we just asked for.
But now
means a whole lot. What we're gonna do is we have a segment here we call the Fuego Rapido. This is a segment that right now we're going through like a gauntlet of naming the best video game of all time, and to do that we're segmenting the video games or games into various categories, and we're creating that pool, and then eventually we will run a bracket for each of these categories to then get a finals bracket from all the different video game types.
Yep.
And that's what we're doing for this segment. Sometimes it's a time segment, sometimes it is somewhat silly. Well, it's pretty much always silly.
It's always silly.
Yeah, but sometimes it has something to do with 40K, sometimes it does not. So, but this is a bit of a palate cleanser. This is after we've already talked about the crunchy stats. We've been talking about win rates. We've been talking about list design and how to win and what's going to win. And now it's time to just take a breather as we ease ourselves into the weekend, getting ready to absorb or even participate in this cool Warhammer 40K. And if you've listened to us and we talked about your event and you think we're going to talk about your event in the future, you can come and call your shot in the chat.
Please do. Yeah.
That'll be doing later on. So this Fuego, Dustin, take it away.
This way, we are going to be doing the best simulation games. So this might be one of the shorter ones, like what, 8. We could do 8. We'll see how it goes because I thought that way with the puzzle games, and then we ended up crushing that. So, and this is the third last one. We only need 3 more, and then the brackets will start, and we're going to actually start getting this vote underway. So,
well, I'm not sure quite what you mean by simulation, so I'm gonna throw out Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
I mean, sure. Is Civ one? We have Civ on turn-based strategies. That's where Civ is right now. But this is more like Sim City, The Sims. And no, it doesn't have to have Sim in the name to be a simulation.
Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yes, that is good. We'll do that for sure.
And Tony Hawk Pro Skater. So
okay, I'm putting this on here because I want Adam to see it when we go with this.
Aren't you simulating being a skateboarder?
No, I don't think that qualifies as simulating being a skater. But
I think.
But to be fair, we didn't put any skateboarding games in the racing and sports one, so I guess we can kind of put it here so it's represented, right? I guess that makes sense.
Sure. I appreciate that. I think it's a simulation game.
Well, okay, it's there.
What's it called? Pilot Wings? Like
Ooh, I don't think it's a simulation game, but I can't think of
you're
anywhere else to put it.
you're
That's a
flying
great.
like a jetliner though.
Yeah, you're also being shot out of a cannon. You do that a lot too. Is that a simulation of? I'll put
I mean, it
Pilot
depends on
Wings.
what you.
I'm gonna put Pilot Wings 64 specifically because that one was I think the best one.
Oh,
Now
that
there's a
is the one
lot
I
of
was. I actually. So I was thinking about there's like an actual real. So by the way, keep Pilot Wings on there because it is You're right. That's an
yeah.
awesome game. The one I'm talking about where you're actually flying a real like 747 or something. Well, not flying a real
Oh yeah,
747.
there's definitely like flight simulators, like legitimate.
I think it may be just called Flight Simulator.
I think it's actually called Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think is the one you might be
Yes.
thinking of. Yeah.
Yes, that
Yeah.
is the one I'm thinking of.
Okay. Put that one on. Simulator. Okay. There's still like a lot of there's so many. If you go into like Steam, there's like job simulator, card shop owner simulator. I don't want to.
Well, we're talking about the top one, like the
Yeah,
ones that are
I'm not going to start. I'm not going to start putting all like
uh,
watering this down with all the ones that don't have a chance at that point. There's going to
no,
be
I mean some of them are just like clones of things
yeah,
or
exactly.
whatever.
All the clones of each other. Like the Sims 4, by the way, is the one I put
Yeah.
specifically. Sim City, I don't know, maybe 2000.
SimCity counts because you are taking on you got
Oh, for
you're
sure. I just mean which one? Like 2000?
oh, I don't know where they're at right now, but I think you can get. I mean, look, the only time we've ever put more than one on the list is when they've been distinct enough um, to like give you the feels in both
Yeah,
categories.
yeah. I haven't actually. I've played the newest one briefly, but I didn't. It was good. Like it was a little too much. Like, it was
Yeah.
probably better as a simulation at
Um,
that point. That's but
Wii Sports.
Wii Sports. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll put that one on there. That's a great
That
game.
says Nintendogs.
Nintendo Pet Simulator. Okay, we need to have a pet simulator on here. I'll put Nintendogs. Yeah,
Tamagotchi.
there's a lot. Okay, Nintendogs or Tamagotchi. I guess Tamagotchi's a little bit.
No, we're going with Nintendogs. Tamagotchi. I don't think we're done. I would almost call that a mobile game. We don't do the mobile games. I don't
Do
think on
we?
these lists.
Well, we kind of do it the same. But you know what? If it would go anywhere, I can't believe I'm about to say this. But would Pokemon Go be here?
That's not a simulator.
But it kind of is because you're actually walking around
There's
capturing
no,
Pokemon.
but there's no. So a simulator is something that replicates what you would do in real life. And look, I'm not saying I'm not here to tell you the Pokemon don't exist. I'm not
They
here to
might.
tell you that.
You don't know that. You
I
have
am not
no
here to tell
proof.
you that. Yeah, and I'm not even sure. Like I need to watch more Pokemon to figure out what the deal is with that. But
There've been a few tank simulators. Yeah, actually, there's a lot of like the World of Tanks and World of Warships. Those be considered simulator games because you kind of
I
you're
didn't play
kind of
World of
playing as them.
Tanks.
Like you're playing as your own tank. Like at that point, I'd put like Mech Warrior in there though. Kind of. I think that's. But now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of want to put Mech Warrior on there. Why isn't Mech Warrior in anything?
Why? Because there's no mechs.
Well, you don't know. Listen, we're so close to having mechs. We're so close.
Look, I want mechs. Look, if there's anybody that wants mechs, I mean, like, sign me up. Like, how do I?
So close,
Like,
so close.
I will join. Whatever gets me in a transformable giant robot.
Well, actually, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we have 8 already, so we're good. We don't need to go any further if we don't want to, because I think we got the biggest ones on here we need to worry about. Sorry,
I don't think I know what Oculus is.
Oculus Rift, like the virtual reality.
Is that a game? Look, I think we've tapped out.
I think we've tapped out. Yep, then we got it. We got 8. That's all we needed.
if we fulfilled the requirements,
we've fulfilled the requirements. We're good. So the only 2 we need to do now are action adventure and third-person shooters, and then we're done. And
then we do the brackets.
Yeah.
All right. Well, seriously, thanks for the suggestions. That is our show this week. Please do those things. Now, look, if you're hitting the bells and stuff like that, you get notified next time we're doing this. That way, you don't have to set your clock for 9 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. You just get a little notification that says, "Hey, come hang out with us."
Makes it much easier.
or that it's posted or whatever. Yeah. Well, Dustin, it was a pleasure talking with you, hanging out.
Always a pleasure. Love hanging out with you. Love hanging out with everybody in chat, talking Warhammer, and then whatever ends up being Fuego. It's always a fun time.
And then safe travels to Adam there. Hopefully we're able to all come back together next week. Although keep your eyes peeled, as we get closer and closer to the finals here. What not all these tournaments are culminating to, but a lot of these players, as we highlight the top ranked folks in the ITC, we're going to be having some ITC champions coming up pretty soon. As they do close out this season. Looking forward to it.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Don't forget to tune into all the tournaments happening because you want to see how these things are shaking out and how these lists are shaking out.
You have a great weekend, a great night. We'll see you all next week, everybody.
We'll see you next week.